Hello, Niran. I hope you're having a good day today. Let's talk about the signature finance solutions that Thailand is currently implementing. So maybe we can start first with the very famous case of Koh Tao Island. Um, but maybe before we talk about it, I
Mm,
want you to tell me first why was Koh Tao selected and what
yes,
was the biodiversity finance issue we're
yes,
trying to address in Koh Tao?
yes. When you think about Thailand, I think we position our country as the best tourism destination. So tourism sector is one of the main sector that economic in Thailand rely on. However, we want Thailand to look at the different angle because we rely on tourism. Then we have to protect the precious ecosystem that can generate revenue. So we select Koh Tao.
Mhm.
And Koh Tao is very special because it's non-protected area, and this non-protected area so famous in the world because 500,000 of tourists come to visit this island. The precious ecosystem that is coral reef, Abby.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is the entry point for us to think about how we can create finance solution that can protect coral reef ecosystem in Koh Tao.
Great. I think the context for applying a finance solution in Koh Tao is now very clear. But tell me, how were you able to do it, and what was
Mm.
the actual finance solution?
Yes, when we decide this, we think about how we can bring tourists to be part of the solution, to have them being part of the solution. The tourism user charge
Yeah.
come
Mm-hmm.
into our mind that let them be part of the solution. They will
Mm-hmm.
pay 20 baht when they arrive at the pier, and the money will be channeled into fiscal budgeting of the municipality because we want to make sure that the flow of the money will go into fiscal budget and the money will be earmarked to protect our coral reef and also reduce pressure on waste management.
Mm-hmm. You know, I like this conversation, and I think a lot of our um, colleagues and listeners will learn
Hmm.
about this finance solution better because, it's easy to create new sources of money,
Yeah,
but it's also difficult to accept.
right.
So can you tell us that mechanism whereby
Mm,
the local government at that was able to
yeah,
accept the money from tourists?
yeah. I think when we have to deal with money,
Mm.
please make sure that you have legal framework ready
Mm-hmm.
because everyone wants to do it right. So we start with uh, reviewing the existing ordinance, municipal ordinance, and we found that there's no clause mentioning about collecting the money and earmark for biodiversity activity. This is our entry point. We engage with legal expert, environmental economists, and also work with
Mm-hmm.
the one of the implementing partner, Rocks Thai Foundation, because you have to be able to crack the code when you talk about legal framework amendment. So we managed to amend the ordinance, but it took us 3 years, Abby,
Wow.
in order to get one clause mentioning that the money will be go for biodiversity conservation.
Excellent, excellent. So, the ordinance has been passed. Can you tell us now
Mm,
how much money is actually being
yes,
generated by this tourist user charge?
right. This project is it was implemented back in 2020, and until 2022, the ordinance was endorsed by the Council of Municipality
Mm-hmm.
with the agreement of the communities. We engage everyone. When they know about this, the collection process start at the pier.
Mm-hmm.
We set up a small kiosk using the ticket, like manual first, and when people arrive, they pay and we give them the ticket. With that, Abby, we can generate 6 million baht in Thai, and this is the amount that government can keep it in their fiscal budget,
Mm-hmm.
make it as a transparency that people can review that and how they spend the money. So we want to share this with
Yeah.
everyone.
I know
Yeah.
that very well because I did pay my 20 baht when I
Yes.
visited Koh Tao,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So, there are so many there's so many reasons to celebrate this finance solution. And for me, one very salient feature of the finance solution is that if the ordinance is not revoked,
Right.
hopefully it will not happen in the near or in medium or long term.
Yes.
You will have a constant flow of cash that will continue to, it can be used for coral reef management. The other reason for celebrating this finance solution is that we have started having
Yeah.
very good
Yeah.
partnerships with private sector, with the
Yes.
government. And of
Right.
course, the other reason to celebrate is that um, Koh Tao has put Thailand on the
Mm,
map for sustainable finance.
thank you,
So
Abby.
please,
Yes.
please tell us about this.
Right. UNEP cannot do this alone, and especially biofin.
Mhm.
We have good concept, but how to put the concept into real action and make impact. When you work with local government, they are our key, gatekeeper to make sure that they will collect money, but the money needs to be flown into the right direction. So we engage with private sector during the time of COVID-19, Abby.
Mhm.
During those days, we don't know how we can implement the activity in the area of Koh Tao. So we engage Krung Thai Bank. This is the bank that understand that investing for biodiversity is their mandate. They are not doing it just for CSR. This is beyond
Mhm.
CSR. They come in and co-design the collection process with us, and we are planning to introduce the e-donation platform where tourists who come in, we will introduce the hybrid system. They can use banknote of 20 baht to pay, and they can also tap with their credit card.
Mhm.
And this system will even more introduce the transparency because the government can report this back to the auditing office. And this proof of the concept that private sector can use their technology like fintech
Mhm.
to strengthen the biodiversity finance solution at the local level. Yes.
Excellent. Can you tell us about the media mileage this has
Yeah.
created for Thailand?
Uh, yeah, with that, I mentioned already about the crowdfunding. We keep posting the story how we mobilize finance to
Mhm.
support local community by using the cash forward, pay them to clean the area and get the area ready when Thailand opened the door for others. The story becomes so powerful because it's human story who tell us that never before that they will understand that reskilling by learning new skill to protect nature can benefit them. With this story, I received a call from New York Times, Abby.
Wow. Hmm.
That's the day that we thought that okay, let's do it. And the editor of New York Times visit Koh Tao and feature the whole story of biofin finance solution there. I think it's very powerful when the journalists come and tell the story through their
Mhm.
eyes and they
Mhm.
get the real story from the community who speak about biofin, how we give them dignity and give them back their life with this support of biofin, Abby.
What a beautiful story, Niran. And I see that the finance solution itself keeps on evolving.
Yes.
So from Koh Tao, I think we
Yes.
now move to another very important coastal province in Thailand, which is Phetchaburi.
Yes.
So I understand in Phetchaburi there is a menu of different types of
Yes.
finance mechanisms we're trying to test, including results-based budgeting,
Yes.
biodiversity-based economy,
Yes.
setting up of conservation funds. So please, can you
Yes.
can you tell me more about what the work is
Yes.
like in
So,
Phetchaburi?
yeah, thanks for mentioning about Phetchaburi province. This
Mm-hmm.
is another important province in Thailand that they receive UNESCO award, being a city of gastronomy. Thanks to their rich biodiversity, so we have amazing local food there. But when we select Phetchaburi, we think that the replication model of Koh Tao can
Mm-hmm.
be applied there because Phetchaburi is the area where local tourists come and visit, and they have their own charm by introducing the concept of having the city where they can offer gastronomy. We will attach that to the precious mangrove ecosystem of Phetchaburi. Before we arrived there, thanks to the biodiversity finance plan
Mhm.
that we have. In that, you already suggest that why don't we have the first of its kind, the biodiversity finance plan for Phetchaburi, Abby.
Correct.
With that,
Yeah. Yeah.
we have the narrative ready. We
Mm.
have bankable project. We have business case,
Yeah.
even for the local government to invest, and private sector can also co-finance their budget and make
Correct.
a Phetchaburi possible for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Niran. It's good that you reminded me because
Mm.
now many countries
Yes.
are now looking beyond having a national biodiversity finance plan and moving into the local level. And I
Mm.
really like what you said that you know every time you move into a new
Mm.
territory,
Yes.
you still have to develop your own biodiversity finance plan so that it's more contextualized. And I think
Yes.
we need to emphasize that
Yes.
because there is a lot of potential for local
Correct.
level work.
Yeah.
So I know that the RBB work is
Yes.
it involves a lot of partners. Can you tell
Right.
us who the partners
The
are?
RBB is amazing flagship solution in Phetchaburi. This is the result-based budgeting that we
Mm-hmm.
want to deploy the concept of improving the budgeting
Yeah,
system
yeah.
at the local level. We introduced the concept of globe taxonomy. This is for the first time that Phetchaburi governor agreed to take the 9 categories of the globe taxonomy, and they believe that this is the white list, Abby, to
Correct.
do good to
Yes.
nature.
Yes.
This is amazing thing because they already have their budgeting system ready,
Mm.
but they will tag that according to the 9 categories of the globe. And this will be a very powerful RBB for us because we want to tell the story that you start from the bottom up approach and you give the good example at the national level. And this will be a good case study for us for Thailand because we have the green taxonomy
Mm-hmm.
developed at the Bank of and level of Bank of Thailand. So they will see the real practical work, and
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the powerful work of
Yeah.
RBB and globe
Oh,
taxonomy.
that
Yes.
sounds really good. That we're able to also utilize all of the available
Yes.
knowledge materials that we have at
Right.
the global
Right.
level and applying it in February,
Yes.
for instance. So, um,
Mm.
again, I think you partnered with several universities in
Yes.
order to develop the results-based budgeting
Right.
framework
Right.
for PEP, not just for Pepbury,
Yes.
but for several other provinces.
We have our 2 champions. Recently, they just received the award from the ASEAN region
Oh,
as a
wow.
Sustainable City Award. The area we call Pakret City. They preserve durian variety. I think that's our favorite fruit.
Of
They
course.
preserve 63 varieties, precious durian, and they allocate more than 17% of their budget,
Wow.
372 million baht. They use the tax that they generate and finance for nature. That's why they deserve this award from ASEAN. And we also have another province, the city municipality of Tung Song in Nakhon
Mm-hmm.
Si
Mm-hmm.
Thammarat. They finance their budget to create a sponge city. In the southern part, they face a lot of the flooding,
Mm-hmm.
but Tung Song is the only municipality that have sponge city, and they receive this award. And they spend and they invest. They know that this will avoid future costs. Abby, they make it happen for us by using the RBB and the globe taxonomy. Yes.
Well, if you recall, at the national level, the
Hmm.
biodiversity expenditure review showed us
Yes.
that, I don't know, maybe it's less than 1% of the GDP, right?
Correct.
But again, focusing on what we can achieve at the local
Hmm.
level, we're talking about 17% of the budget.
Yes.
And also that there is a lot of opportunity to work at the local level because they can control the budget.
You're
They
right.
can also have their own sources of revenue.
Yes.
So I think that's a good, really,
Okay.
really good example for our
Mm-hmm.
work on results-based budgeting. But here comes another very interesting work in
Yes.
Phetchaburi, and maybe let's move to the case of Marikadayawan Palace
Oh,
and our
yes.
work on subsidies. Please
Abby,
tell us more about it.
Phetchaburi always give us
Yeah.
exciting result. One of the target that we want to help Thailand to achieve at the global level, Kunming, Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework is Target 18, reduce harmful subsidy. This is very sensitive issue
Yes,
because
yes.
I believe that all the government in your countries, I mean, our colleagues also learn about how some subsidy, most of them will be created with good intention to improve economic development, but they didn't look it through the lens of nature, whether
Mm-hmm.
nature can be positive or not.
Mm-hmm.
The case of the palace you call Marukatayawan,
Yes.
they also suffer from this because the budget that some of the department allocate
Mm-hmm.
to build the seawall,
Mm-hmm.
you know what, that's a lot because they believe that this can prevent coastal erosion back in 20 years ago. But with that, they came up with the big amount of money that's spent on building rigid, hard infrastructure, great infrastructure to prevent the coastal erosion. But that never give us the solution because Mother
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nature didn't, appreciate that.
Yeah.
In order to prevent this spending on harmful subsidy, we work closely with a professor from Prince of Songkla University and provide scientific evidence to inform policymaker. You need this truth to be told. And when you have the truth to be told, they will understand that nature is the asset that you have to
Mm-hmm.
invest in a
Mm-hmm.
proper way, using nature-based solution there. And with that, Abby, we can now stop the budget that they allocate for
Wow.
seawall.
Can you imagine?
Yeah,
And how much is this worth? You have an estimate of how much we were able to avoid?
yes, 7.6 million US dollar that they allocate for Marukatayawan Palace. And we didn't stop there with our study on repurposing harmful subsidy. It resonates the impact. And right now, the budget on seawall construction in Thailand is totally stopped
Oh
at
my
the,
goodness. Wow.
yeah. So we hope that to avoid future costs is so powerful, Abby. You can allocate this budget that they
Mm.
use it normally for construction,
Yeah.
can
Yes.
do good for nature.
Yes. So
So,
maybe we should continue monitoring the status of our budgets for
yes,
these types of coastal
yeah,
rigid infrastructure,
yes,
and we can continue telling the story of our work
right,
on
right,
harmful subsidies in
yes,
Thailand. So I think we've covered a lot today, Niran.
yes,
Thank you very much for sharing.
yes,
This was a very nice conversation, and
yes.
I hope
Mm.
our colleagues and listeners will learn much from this conversation.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.